one of the things that is interesting is that when you like use Reiki to kind of bubble up and get in your ground, is that people will match sort of the dominant energy in the room. It's just, entrainment. So people, heart rates will match the lowest heart rate in the room. And when people get in sync with each other, they actually like sync up, like heart rate sync up and breathing patterns sync up. And that's sort of the co-regulating that happens. So if you can get calm just for yourself, then it creates an environment where other people can find their own sense of calm. You're not calming them down, you just get calm and then they can regulate. And so that's another piece of the strong emotions for sensitive folk, is that sometimes you're in a whirlwind of emotions and most of them aren't yours. And so just even asking that question, like, how much of what I'm feeling is mine and how much of what I'm feeling is somebody else's? And you don't have to fire it back or know where it came from. You don't have to like lob it back over the fence. You can just let it go to whatever you think the highest power is. You can just let it all melt into the earth and let, egoless beings or consciousnesses, you can just let it melt back into the sea of the everything. And then you're clear, and then it makes relationships lighter, because then you're not trying to like coerce people into feeling better so that you can feel better. It gets less push and pull. Yeah.
And I found in a way like Reiki almost gave me my power back. Like when people would say things or react a certain way to me, it was like I would hold on to that. And I just didn't feel like I had the strength to know what to do with it. And it was like their words had such huge weight and power behind it to hurt. But with my Reiki practice, I was able to not take so much of a blow from those words anymore. It's like I could just cycle it through and just kind of reframe it and look at it in a different way. And it didn't have such a powerful punch anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's amazing. I love it. I think we'll also kind of pop in and say, like, if your emotions are really, really strong and you're looping and things are getting heavy and dark, like, and even if they're not, even if you're just like, you need new tools and skills, like, we both highly advocate therapy, like going to a psychologist or psychiatrist or counselor of your choosing, and getting that space so you can actually talk the story out, so you're not looping in the same story. I really like cognitive behavioral therapy, trauma therapy in there's a couple of types of it with EMDR and is it accelerated resolution therapy?
Yeah, ART for short.
ART. And we'll put some links in our show notes to a couple of therapists in our local Calgary area, but you can just do a Google for wherever you happen to be living, to sort of get that extra support if you are dealing with trauma. It's like, or you want to learn ways that you can sort of reframe certain situations, or examine the sort of the thinking that might be stirring up the strong emotions. And also, if you've never told anybody the story, I think it's really an important, really, really important piece. Like with Reiki, like we'll always lend a compassionate ear to anybody, but we're not therapists. So we like to work with therapists quite a bit. And I find it's a really nice complement to people's overall approach to their mental health, because therapy can help sort of clear things on the level of the mind and the emotions. And what Reiki does is it helps clear out the energy that might be held in sort of your spirit or held in your body. So sometimes you've come to a conclusion, or you've sort of talked it out in therapy, and you've tapped it out, and you've sort of you've come to a peaceful place, but maybe your body's still holding on to the anxiety, or if you have a stress related physical condition. So sometimes people who have like IBS or digestive issues that can be very linked to their stress states, or chronic pain and chronic fatigue. What I find when I work with clients who have sort of stress linked conditions, it's like their mind isn't in fight or flight anymore. They're not ruminating anymore because they've learned skills to not do that, but their body is sort of still braced for a fight. And so what Reiki can do is it can help sort of clear out some of that old energy signal and get you back into that state of rest and digest, and sort of clear out any energies that aren't yours, and then also call back in any piece of you that's sort of been lost to different situations. So, I think I feel that the most at the solar plexus is like kind of calling back all of your energy to you, letting all of your power return and sort of stay internal is kind of a big piece of it. But how does that sit with you?
Yeah. I could speak till the end of time about how Reiki has helped me, like, physically,
Mm.
and emotionally, and just like, because you had mentioned IBS, because it's one of those like stress aggravated conditions.
Mm.
And my IBS was bad for years. Like, I couldn't even have certain foods touching without being thrown into an episode. And now, after going through my healing journey and really working on myself, like, I have next to no problems. Like, I have very rarely do I have flare ups. I can eat cheese for the first time in my life. So it's, yeah, anybody who's willing to listen, I'll talk about it. But I'm a huge advocate for how much this work really can do on all levels for us.
That's amazing, because cheese is delicious.
Yeah, it really is. I really like it. I missed it.
That's nothing short of a miracle, really.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.